Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back once again to another MLR breakdown video. But before we even get into that, man, like, if you're not subscribed to this, I mean, I can't tell you what to do with your life, but I don't know what you're doing. Are you waiting for Rugby Pass and one of their ridiculous headlines? You're not going to get that here, guys. You're going to get nothing but real rugby content from real rugby fans from all across the globe. So go ahead and hit that subscription notification down there, man. Subscribe and support real fans talking about the game that you and I both love. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. Friday Night Lights in Texas. I mean, come on. You saw the movie. Now you get to experience the rugby variant of it. Arlington, Texas is the Dallas Jackals looking for that first victory at home on the season. Welcomed the Utah Warriors at a really nice night out at Choctaw. From what the crowd I saw, fans that went everything, it looked like a really good crowd. And this one got started really, really quick with Aussie Nick Ben scoring at the second minute. Natsa Valentini, Nazarino is what it says on the score sheet, but he goes by Natsa. I knew Natsa as a scrum half and a fullback. He is an Argentine-born player. He does convert, making it 7-0 at the third minute. Couple of minutes later, 6 minutes later, penalty on Dallas. Former Newcastle Falcon Joel Hodgson elects to kick for 3. He does clear it through. Throw is 7-3 at the 9th minute. Couple of minutes later, 14th minute, man. Mika Cruze, the USA Eagle, he does cross and Hodgson does convert. So it does go to 10-7 at this point by way in favor of the visiting Utah Warriors. But it doesn't stay that way for long. At the 30th minute, Tommy Milanos, I knew him as a center last year. Him and Kubia were a very, very formidable centering duo here in Dallas. He crosses at the 30th minute. Valentini is 2-2 on the day so far, making it 14-10 going into the sheds at halftime. We had a nail-biter on our hands with this one. 54th minute after the half starts, penalty on Utah, and Valentini elects to kick. He does clear it through. It is now 17-10 in favor of the home side. 56th minute, 2 minutes later, penalty on Dallas. Hodgson does elect to kick. He does clear it, so it is 17-13 with Utah keeping it in. Former Otago and Southland player from New Zealand, Michael Manson, does manage to get across at the 67th minute to give Utah the lead at 20-13. And this one goes right down to the end with this one.
England's game, Women's World Cup. Dallas keeps the ball here, the drive. They're going to put everybody in. They're going to put the kitchen sink in. It's going to the right. It's going to push through. It's at the back. It's the replacement hooker with the try. My goodness, Dallas has done it. First win of the year at home. That man right there, the replacement.
Yep, that's it. Thomas Beakerman, the replacement hooker, crosses at the 83rd minute as Dallas comes away with the victory 22-10. Craddock, Eastern Cape, born former Blue Bull and former Golden Lion Fawn Isaacs, getting man of the match honors. Way to go, Fawn. I know it's been a long time coming and you've been putting in a lot of work here in the U.S., so congratulations to you. Next up, we had the Nola Gold heading out west to San Diego to take on the San Diego Legion there at Snapdragon Stadium. And they say rugby is a tale of two halves. This one is no different. Samoan international Ed Fidel gets the scoring started off early for Nola, and with Jones converting, making it 7-0 at the 13th minute. William Wagsback gets the try at the 32nd minute. Jones does convert, making it 14-0. And then a penalty at the 37th minute. Former Worcester Warrior Dorian Jones, once again, he does kick. And it is 17-0 at halftime. Not looking good for the home side, San Diego. But once again, like we said, rugby is a game of two halves. Former Tasman Mako Thomas Aoki gets a try for San Diego at the 49th minute. McClutchy does convert. Connor Tupai, he is a former Northampton Saint, born in New Zealand. He gets a try for San Diego at the 53rd minute. McClutchy once again does convert. Cyril Kama gets a try at the 74th minute for San Diego, McClutchy does convert. Dorian Jones does get the lone penalty goal kick for Nola in the second half at the 65th minute. And at the 79th minute, a penalty try is awarded, and that closes out with this spectacular try at the 81st minute from Tiang Lutz.
Really, for me, it's the penalties at the breakdown. Just too many against such a good side at home. And here comes the Legion again. Tiang Lutz breaking through. Lutz will dot it down. And the second half continues.
So 33-20, the final score from San Diego, as San Diego improves to 5-1 and Nola falls to 3-3. Next week, Nola will be at the Miami Sharks, and San Diego will welcome Utah. Next up, we had the winless Carolina Anthem heading to Chicago to take on the Chicago Hounds. And this one, once again, it turned ugly pretty early for Carolina as USA Eagle hooker Dylan Fawcett got a try at the 7th minute. Hottentots high, former Bolin Cavalier, former Toyota Cheetah, Adrian Carolsa does convert, and it does go to 7-0 at this point. 4 minutes later, Canadian international Jason Higgins gets a try. Carolsa does convert, so it's 14-0, 13 minutes into this one. 20th minute, Dylan Fawcett gets his second of the day. Carolsa money once again, 21-0 at the 21st minute. It's kind of not looking too good there. And then Nate Augsburger does get a try at the 24th minute, the USA Eagle with this beauty of a try.
Let's see if they accomplish that. Fawcett 2 already. Inside pass Meeks. Free. Good pass. Augsburger dots it down for 5 more. What a feed, Meeks.
Adrian Carolsa does fail to convert, but the bleeding is already there. The Tasman Mako product, Waitokia, does manage to answer back at the 27th minute. Oscar Kohler does convert. And then another try by Dylan Fortune at the 37th minute. But at this point, it's already a one-sided match. Fawcett completes the hat trick in the first half at the 39th minute. Carolsa does fail to convert. But we go into the sheds at halftime, 31-12 in this one. Second half gets started, and it's more of the same, it seems, as Jason Higgins gets his second of the day at the 52nd minute. Carolsa does convert on that one. And then Higgins gets another one with the hat trick at the 58th minute. Carolsa does convert. Oscar Kohler does manage to get a try at the 55th minute and does convert. And former Chief Joe Apikatia does get a try at the 62nd minute for Carolina. Former Jackal Mike Matarazzo gets a try at the 76th minute. Caelan Dooley does manage to convert. The Irish-born Caelan Dooley converts at the 77th minute. And Giannis Venter gets a final try at the 79th minute, and Dooley does convert. This one, like I said, it was pretty one-sided. 59-26, the final score, as Chicago moves to 3-1, and Carolina falls to 0-7. Next week, Chicago will be welcoming Los Angeles to Chicago, and the Carolina Anthem have a bye. The next one, the game of the week, in my opinion, the undefeated Houston SaberCats coming off of a bye led by Pote Human, the former Bull skipper, and Heineke Meyer, also former Springboks and Bull skipper, welcoming in the defending MLR champion New England Free Jacks to Houston. It was a Saturday night, absolutely great stadium. And this one was pretty nasty, man. Drew Wild, the Kiwi-born Drew Wild for Houston gets a try at the 4th minute. David Kutzer fails to convert. It's 5-0. A couple of minutes later, Malachi Hala Ngatai, he does manage to cross for New England at the 6th minute. Jason Petros, the Kiwi product, money on the night so far, and it becomes 7-5. Namibian international and former and defending defender of the year for Major League Rugby, Wian Conradi, does get a try at the 12th minute. Petros' money, of course, becomes 14-5. And it's not looking the best right now for the boys, but Davy Kutzer does manage to put 3 more across, making it not too bad of a game at this point. Davy Kutzer, the former Bull from Johannesburg. I believe he's from Johannesburg or Pretoria. Petrol's gets a try at the 22nd minute and converts on his own try. Jeremy Missiglu gets a try at the 26th minute for Houston. Kutzer misses the conversion, but then answers with an absolutely beautiful try of his own.
Not able to free that ball up quickly enough for the liking of our veteran official, Federico Anselmi, and already the Sabercats trying to catch New England on their heels. A full speed ahead, Davy Kutzer will not be denied.
In the closing minutes of the first half, Wayne van der Bonk does get a try at the 39th minute, and Petros does convert. We go in at halftime with a score of 28-18 in favor of the visiting New England Free Jacks. Second half gets started. Reese McDonald gets a try at the 47th minute, and this is, at this point, I'm like, okay, this is looking bad. I don't know how Houston can do it. Wayne van der Bonk gets another try at the 50th minute. Petros does convert. Davy Kutzer gets his second try on the day. Does not convert. Kicks it wide. Lene Latu gets a try at the 67th minute. Missed conversion once again. Tion Erasmus does get the try at the 73rd minute. Thinking, okay, it's close. Within 10 points, we might be able to do this. AJ Alatimu has now taken over the kicking duties for Houston, and he does make the conversion. So this one's coming down to the wire, but it's just too much at the end. When van der Bonk gets a turnover late in the game in the 76th minute, Petros kicks it through, and the New England Free Jacks escape from Houston with a 47-35 victory. They move to 5-1. Houston falls to 5-1. And the final match of the weekend, we had the Seattle Seawolves visiting Los Angeles. And once again, this one turned ugly pretty quickly with penalty goal by Sam Windsor at the 18th minute. Rickert Hadding gets a try for Seattle at the 27th minute. Windsor does convert. Windsor gets his own try at the 32nd minute, and Windsor does convert on his own try. Second half gets started. Ben Strang finally does get LA on the board at the 45th minute, but Dan Hollinshead, the former Highlander from New Zealand, does miss the conversion. Namibian Divan Rousseau gets a try at the 59th minute, with Sam Windsor, of course, converting once again. Rickert Hadding gets his second on the day at the 69th minute. At this point, Tony Pellew comes in and ends with this.
Once again, pulling it out of there is Taz Smith. Emery, dangerous ball intercepted, and Seattle will put a bow on this match. Tony Pellew, big old smile on his face. That is his third try of the season.
And that was more than enough to seal the deal for Seattle as they win 36-5. So let's go ahead and take a look at the standings in the Western Conference through 7 rounds. Seattle stands atop the conference at 6-1 with 29 points, followed by San Diego at 5-1 with 24, and Houston at 5-1 with 24. Dallas Jackals still in the playoff hunt. The top 4 seeds from each side make it into the playoffs. Dallas at 3-4 with 19 points, followed by Utah at 2-4 with 14 points, and last but not least, LA at 1-4-1 and 11 points. Now let's take a look over at the Eastern Conference standings. Standing atop, solo at the top of the East, is New England at 5-1 with 24 points. Chicago, right behind them, at 3-1 with 18 points. Nola at 3-3 with 15 points. DC at 2-2, rounding out the playoff spot with 14 points. With Miami at 1-5 with 7 points, and Carolina at 0-7 with 3 points. Now to take a look at the difference, the second, third, and fourth teams in the Eastern Conference would not even be playoff eligible if they were in the Western Conference. That's how tight the Western Conference is. That's how loose the Eastern Conference is. Now, the part that my buddy Chad always seems to want to bring up, which is my predictions for the next round of Major League Rugby. We have Seattle at New England. I am picking New England to win that one. We've got Miami at Nola. I am picking Nola over Miami. We've got Houston at DC. I think Houston will bounce back and get a victory over DC. We've got LA at Chicago. Sorry, Chad, I gotta go with Chicago on that one. And then finally, we've got Utah at San Diego, and I think San Diego wins this with ease. So those are my picks for this round. So once again, if you want to follow along Major League Rugby action is absolutely free to watch. Just Google how to watch Major League Rugby, and you enter a email address, and you can follow along to all this action of North American rugby, the only professional rugby in North America. Now, I want to give a good shout out to my boy Chad for adding some footage that we're going to play at the end here, and I've got to say, as I always say at the end of these videos, follow along, enjoy, and maybe you'll see me pitch side. Cheers, guys.